Okay, today on the show, our guest is Rachel Adams Lee from the Rachel Adams Lee Group in Northern California. Let me tell you more about Rachel. Now, Rachel Adams Lee is just a small town girl making moves. She is a top 1,000 agent in the US. She is also a multi passionate entrepreneur and mother of three boys. By the way, all under 4 years old at this point. So this is a busy woman. Also, if that is not enough, she also runs four 6 and 7 figure businesses with her husband and lives life on their terms. She loves helping others tap into their true potential and build the business of their dreams. Couple of fun facts. Positivity is her jam. You can find her snuggled on the couch in yoga pants, hair in a messy bun with her laptop. She is 5 feet tall, loves all things social media, obsessed with having a healthy marriage. What a great thing to be obsessed about. And thinks Nutella should be its own food group. I might disagree, but I think Nutella is somehow hardwired for females more so than males in my experience, but I do like it as well. I got a couple of things I want to share with you guys as far as things to check out. If you are an agent in Northern California, and you're going to want to do this even if you're happy at your current firm, because what Rachel does is really, really cool. Her team's expanding. Check out what they offer, racheladamsleegroup.com. Link to that in the show notes. And we're going to be talking about a couple of her businesses today. One is called Hello Social Coaching. If you want good coaching for social media, hellosocialcoaching.com. And also, if you would like somebody to help you with your videos, get socialleverage.com. We're going to be talking about that as well. So again, hellosocialcoaching.com, get socialleverage.com. Don't worry about remembering those. Just go into the show notes and click. All right, Rachel, excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm stoked to be here. Sending you guys all the vibes from Northern California.
Well, that's what Californians are good at, vibes, right? We don't, I'm in the Midwest. That word, we don't even know how to interpret that word here. But we do love California vibes. Of course, everyone does. Let's start before we get into all the cool social stuff. And by the way, the stuff when Rachel starts telling her story about the success she's been having and her team's been having with social, you are absolutely going to want to hear this. It's shocking. And I've been doing this for 6 years and I've had countless people on here who have social strategies. Rachel's strategy is really, really awesome. So hang tight for that. But Rachel, let's start at the beginning. How did you get into real estate?
Oh, let's go back. Okay, so I got into real estate in 2012. So my grandma was a realtor. My dad was a broker for 42 years. And I always said I would never, ever go into real estate
By the way,
because,
everybody who has parents that are in real estate
yes,
say the exact same thing. My
I know.
boss, same thing. Go ahead. I'm
But
sorry.
honestly, though, I feel like the reason was because no one talked about work-life balance back then. Like my
Right.
dad, I had an awesome childhood, but my dad would miss dinner sometimes because he was
Sure.
doing showings and stuff like that. And I just was like, I never want to have that, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I found myself in 2012 working at a real estate office, and I was unlicensed. And I was in a really unhealthy marriage at that point in my life. My ex-husband was 80% disabled, but 50% was PTSD from the Marine Corps. So I
Oh,
spent my days at the office you're going to get your offer accepted. You got this. And I spent my nights crying myself to sleep because I was just in a really
oh,
dark spot.
yeah.
And I knew I wanted my life to change, but I didn't know what that looked like. And I remember seeing all these paychecks coming through the realtors. And I was like, gosh, there's so much more money than I was making. But I was making $15 that I could count on and so it was okay, stability versus instability. The thing I'd never done is bet on myself. So I decided that I would do an accelerated program. I got my license in 90 days and I jumped into real estate. When I jumped into real estate, I want to say it was with both feet because literally my first year, DJ, I'm knocking 200 doors a week and doing 3 open houses every week. So knocking 200 doors, doing 3 open houses, and I didn't sell any homes for the first 4 months. So
Right.
think about
I
the
love
amount of
that.
rejection you face and the amount of but also the grit you get. And what I always said is people how do you keep doing that? That's 4 months with nothing. And I was my why, why I was doing this was bigger than any excuse that could come up with. I had to
Right.
change my life. So I didn't sell any homes for the first 4 months, but I ended up selling 39 homes that first year, and then
Well,
109.
hold on, hold on. I want to pause for dramatic effect. We're gonna do what's called a pregnant pause.
Okay.
39 homes in your first year with
Yeah.
really not a tremendous. I'm assuming not a tremendous
No
sphere of
database.
influence or
No. Mm-mm. No, I'd
okay.
never even looked at a listing presentation, buyer presentation, because I was in all different industries before that. I was like a sommelier. I taught people how to do food and wine pairing. Like I did, was in restaurants. Like I didn't do the real estate stuff, and so it
Yeah.
took me some time to get traction going. But what I did during those first 4 months and really that first year, like I wrote my listing presentation 100 times for 100 days, every day for 100 days. I mastered script practice. Like I wanted to overcome every objection. So when it came, I wasn't nervous. So if I didn't have the clients, I pretended that I did. So I was like really a student of the game. So I sold 39 homes the first year, then 109 the next year, and then 123. So 3 years in, I hit Wall Street Journal's top 1,000 agents in the country. We still have that today. Um, and I wanted to make an impact on my community. I wanted to be in a healthy marriage. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to be a mom. Like all these things were important to me. And so I knew that like I love doing the door knocking, the open houses. The thing is, you can have one conversation with one person at a time. So the belly to belly is really important, but I also wanted like more. And so I decided I would really start to like focus on social media because if I did social media, I would choose when I respond to people. I choose when I post. Like I could make a business model around social media, and I never heard of anyone doing that. And I'm a systems girl. That's the only way I can survive having a 4-year-old, a year and 9 month old, and a 9 month old. So I have to have systems in my world. And so I created a business model around social media. And like the first year we had 17 referrals come in, then it was like 30, then 50. But last year we had 131 referrals come through social. And that's through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So life looks very different now. I'm a real estate coach. I love teaching people how to build their businesses. I travel all over the country speaking. I travel with my family. So whenever I'm at a conference, I bring my littles and my nanny and my husband, and it's wild, but it's really fun.
If you're wondering, if you're noticing that Rachel speaks quickly, that's because she has to, because she has three little ones to attend to and four businesses to run. But guys, how great is this? This Rachel, and I don't. I'm not saying to speak slowly, more
Oh,
slowly.
you're
I
good.
just love the fact
I
that
can't
you
talk
got a lot to
slower.
do.
I'm incapable of it, and I'm told hanging out with me is like taking a shot of espresso. So good morning, everybody.
No, I love it. I love it. I'm kind of the same way. I have to remind myself to slow down. But everything you're saying is so golden. I want you to get as much in as possible through
Yeah,
this episode. So let's talk about social media. You know what I'd like to maybe start with is,
sure.
what do most agents not understand about social media, or what do they go wrong?
That's a great question. So I think the thing with most realtors, I'll try to slow it down a little bit because I get real
No,
excited.
no, no, no. Do not slow it down. You are perfect. I just love how fast you talk. I
Oh,
love
you're
it.
good. So I think one of the biggest mistakes realtors make is they make their social media all about them and all about real estate. And they think that like, look at this house I just sold. Look at my new listing. Look at this award I got. Look at me. Look at me. And what you don't realize is that people might find you because you're in real estate, but they stick around because of who you are and how you make them feel. So one of the biggest mistakes realtors make is just talking about real estate. So when I'm talking to people with social, I say you need to make your social media like an 80-20 principle. 80% of what you post is actually going to be you, who you are, what you're doing, what you're reading, what you're eating, like what makes you tick, why somebody would hang out with you on the weekend. And 20% is only going to be real estate. 20% is real estate. But you know what you could do? You could be watching or listening to this podcast right now, take all these notes, and then you're going to have the business model by the end of this for how to build a business through social media. Then you, as a realtor, go on your social media and you make a post and say, was just hanging out with DJ Paris and he interviewed a top 1,000 agent in the country about how she got 131 referrals last year. I would love to share those notes with you. If you want a copy of my notes, leave your email below. You, as a realtor, if you can be the person who's always adding value to others when they need to buy or sell, or they have a referral for your location, they're going to think of you. So what I do in my world is I think, okay, how can every single day when I woke up, I was like, how can I add value to others? How can I add value to others? My clients and my community. So like being the local expert. So it's October, right? So I'm sharing where to look at the local pumpkin patch locations. If it's
Love
November,
it.
right? I'm doing a pie giveaway. If it's December, I'm sharing where to see the local Christmas tree light locations. Like you can Google this stuff for free, then go on Canva, get a free account and make it like a graphic. And the thing is, if you're always adding value to people, then your platform becomes a place they want to hang out.
Yeah.
And the algorithm is like this weird tricky place, but the simplest way to think of the algorithm, because you hear that word thrown a lot around a lot, it is it is your impact and your influence you have on social media. It's like whatever you're looking at. The goal of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all of them. The goal is to keep you on the platform as long as possible. So if you're looking at a specific niche, they're going to give you more of that to keep you on it. The trick is, how are you as a realtor the person that they want to be in front of? And that's what my model goes through.
Yeah, it's no, you just said so much there. And I want to go back to some of the non-real estate stuff, like community focused stuff. So
Yeah.
this, I feel, is one of the biggest missed opportunities for realtors, because if we think about, like, if you're whatever you're into, maybe you're a mom with little ones, so you could create content specific to mothers who are working, maybe who have children, and you could do stuff about, hey, I have some resources for moms who are trying to do it all. It
Yep.
could be totally unrelated to real estate, or it could be, hey, here's some really cool events that are going on in our area for moms with little kids, or here's some mom meetups, or it could be, here's what's going on for Labor Day. If you don't have plans, do that. This, now we're talking about value, and
Yeah.
and what you said is so important, is you have to think, what do my look, when somebody's ready to buy or sell a home, yes, they want some of that real estate content, but in between 5 to 7 years of them not buying or selling a home, they probably don't care that much about you selling, doing a listing. I mean, it's cool, it's good, but you want to get them hooked on your content, is what I'm hearing from you.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, you really want to. So with social media, you're either doing of one of two things. You're either educating people or you're entertaining. You're either educating or entertaining. And if you're really doing social media high level, you do it a balance of both. And I think people get so caught up because they're like, I don't even know what to post about. No one cares about the fact that, like, I sit in my office with my dog at my feet. Yes, they freaking do.
Oh, they love it.
Right. And so, like, if you're going to build a business through social media, I want you to write down 1 through 5. You're literally write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number one, you're going to write down real estate because that's the industry that we're all in. But then 2 through 5, you're going to make it personal to you. What makes you tick? If you were in an elevator and someone said, okay, tell me about yourself, what is some things you like? That's your 5 things. That's the other 4. So, like, for me, I do real estate and being an entrepreneur. I talk about being a wife and a mom because that's my number one, right? I talk about personal growth because I'm always on a journey to be like the best version of myself. I talk about positive body image because it's something that I struggle with. And after having 3 kids and the last one being an emergency C-section, um like my body has changed a lot, and I had fertility and we've had 4 losses, and like I've really had
Oh,
this like journey to become a mom. And it is something I talk about. I wasn't going to talk about it on social media, but I found myself like silently struggling, and I was like, man, I have a super killer support system and I'm struggling. There are
yeah,
people.
imagine what everyone else who doesn't have that
Exactly.
support. And by the way, what percentage of women struggle with, what percentage of humans,
Agree.
but certainly women? I mean, this is 99% of women struggle with body image because of how we as a society project what women are supposed to look like. And obviously, it's very, we all know how tough women have it. So that's a great thing to talk about.
Yeah, and I just think, like, and the cool thing too is your 4 passions can change. Before I had kids,
Yeah.
that was not something I talked about. But after I had kids, like, positive body image became one of my focal points of my life. So it's something that I want to talk about with others. And so you come up with these different things that help you define who you are as a person. And then remember, people will find you because you're in real estate, but they stick around because of who you are and how you make them feel. And so
Yeah.
you get really intentional on going through these. And like if you go on my Instagram and you look at like the grid, right? Like the little pictures, you'll literally see me go through these topics. And if you join my real estate team today, you actually have to sign a social media addendum that says you'll post at least 3 times a week. 3 times a week.
Wow. It's part of the agreement to work with you. I
It's our
love it.
business model. Absolutely. Because if you're not doing social media as a realtor now, you are going to get left behind.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that we really are focusing on now is video.
Yeah. It's funny. I want to pause for a second because I wanted to get your take on this. I'm curious to get. I have an opinion about this, but I'll wait to hear your opinion first. Although maybe I'll be leading you on this one. I'll try not to. Um, what do you think the role of websites, personal websites, are going to be going forward? Are they going to be less important, more important, neutral? Meaning an agent with their own website.
Yeah. I think that you need to have a website because it can be linked to your MLS, right? For IDX. So like you can
Yep.
for search portals and if you're doing
Yep.
ads and stuff like that. But otherwise, your social media is your website, honestly.
Yes. Yes.
Your website
Stop
is
working on your websites, everybody. First of
yeah,
all,
stop spending all the
and
money.
your SEO, you're not going to compete with the other people who are already locked in those SEO results for top, 1 to 3 searches on, or 1 to 3 positions on the search of Google. Anything under 1 to 3, no one clicks on it anyway. So don't try to play that game because, again, have a nice looking website. Like you said, have an IDX search built in so people can search instead of going to Zillow or Redfin. They're going to maybe use your site, but
Well,
realize that
and
not people aren't going to hang out on your website.
one thing that I want you to look at, so go you can do it right now. So, oopsie, sorry. That's a reel that I was just doing this morning. Okay, so if you go to my Instagram right now, so you go to Rachel Adams Lee, what you're going to see is like the first line. So you want to be really intentional. So this is like a class for you guys on editing your bios. You want when somebody goes to your social media, you want it to within 1 second they know exactly what they're looking at. So first, your profile has to be public. You cannot build a social media presence with a private profile, because if you click on my page and I'm private, then you add for me to be your friend or whatever, follow. By the time that I accept you, you forgot who I am because you've done 15 things that day. So what the very first line you see is Rachel Adams Lee, top 1000 realtor and business coach. The next thing you see is social media expert. So my credibility, right? And where I serve, California, realtors. You've got to say you're a realtor on your social media, and you have to say the area you serve, because if you want referrals, so think about this. I had 131 referrals come through last year. A huge portion of those are agents around the country. The rest are client and community, right? But you want to make sure that you always say the area that you serve, because then it gives people to know where they can give you referrals. And they're constantly coming to your profile and getting value and laughing and connecting and feeling like you're their buddy. And then, by the way, you happen to serve that area. And then you continue moving on. And so the third line down is really where I do credibility. So you can say how many houses you sold, or if you don't have the credibility behind you yet, you're with a top brokerage, like whatever you want to say there. And then my fourth line down is my personal stuff. So I'm a wife and a working mama with 3 boys. And then the line after that is a call to action. So if your call to action could be like, click here to find out how much your home is worth. But you always want to have something for them to do. You'll notice, like, if you go on my social media, and let's talk about reels for a minute. Let's talk about video, because it is the number one thing the algorithm favors above all else right now. I spend a lot of time working on reels and doing video, and we have something we can talk about a little bit for you guys that will help. And what you'll notice is if you go look at the reels and you click on them and you literally go over just to look at the reels, you're going to see what is called a hook. So what people don't realize is when someone's scrolling on social, you actually only have 2 seconds, 2 freaking seconds to stop the scroll and see if what you're posting about is something they want. So your hook so what you do is when you create your video, you have the hook on the screen literally for 2 seconds. When you use editing apps, like I use one called InShot, you can keep it on there for 2 seconds and then you move forward. So like one says, how I gained 6,000 followers in 3 months. Another one says how I got a $1.7 million buyer from an open house. Check out my system. How to hack the algorithm. Best recording equipment for your videos to go viral. How to lose 10 pounds with ChatGPT, right? Like, these are hooks. There's things that literally are going to stop people, and they're going to say, oh, I want to learn about that. But if I don't have an eye catching something on there, then they scroll past. So many realtors, like, one of the big mistakes they do, DJ, is they'll be like, hey guys, my name's Rachel, and today, gone, lost him. Who
Right.
cares what my name is? What am I going to
Right.
talk about? That's what you have
Yeah,
to have the
I
second you.
want to make two quick points for clarifying. So when she's talking about a hook, what we're really thinking about is when we're scrolling on YouTube. So let's think about YouTube for a second. The videos that tend to perform the best have sort of title cards. So what
Yeah.
we're really talking about, what Rachel's saying, is we're creating sort of title cards within a reel. So that way when they're listed, she was saying, to scroll through, you literally, without even having to click on the video, you can see exactly what the video is. That is huge. And I believe, and Rachel, you may have to correct me on this, I believe once you upload a reel into Instagram, I don't believe you can edit or add a cover after the fact. I may
Oh,
be
yeah.
wrong.
No,
Yes.
no,
So
you
I've
have to
made this mistake a million times where I've
yeah.
uploaded reels. They don't have a title card or the first 2 seconds that show what we're going to be with written out. And you're right. Nobody knows what it
Lost
is.
him. Yeah. Yeah. So you really need to have that done ahead of time. And the title card, like he's saying, so the cover page, like that is important for when that's important for when you are like creating a reel for your page and someone's scrolling on your content. But if they're not on your page and you get to the explore page where I'm at a lot, that's where you need to have the two for the hook on there for the 2 seconds, because that's where you're going to grab them.
Now, quick question. So I've got about I don't know, maybe 50 reels for this podcast where we just started grabbing moments and doing,
Yeah,
60-second videos.
yeah.
We did not think about title cards. So would it make sense to pull all of those down, add title cards, re-upload them as new posts just because it would probably get more visibility
Just
or
do it moving forward. No, because that's like deleting all your social media and starting fresh. It's like, when's the best time to plant a tree?
right.
Right? Plant the
Yes.
seed
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
yesterday can't, so do it today. So you just start moving forward. So your next title card will be here. And you just, again, you want to pull the hooks. And I have what I can do for your listeners. Actually, I have a website that I'll give you where if you go to, I think it's called Rachel's Freebies. Yeah, go to rachelsfreebies.com. That will give them 20 free hooks. So it will give them
Oh,
20
awesome.
free hooks they can use right now on their social media, which you guys can put that in the show notes. But if you go to Rachel's Freebies, that'll give them 20 hooks they can use right now on their social media.
I also wanted to make one point. This is just a little aside that I noticed when I was searching for you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, and I want everybody don't just go directly to Rachel's Instagram. Go to Google, search Rachel Adams Lee Instagram, and I want you to notice the font that comes up on Google when it shows the result. It is a unique font because Rachel was very smart and realized that when you use a unique font on Instagram, it actually pulls that into the Google snippet when people are search on Google, and it is so unique. It drew my eye immediately to it. I was like, "Whoa! Did Google change their fonts all of a sudden?"
Yeah.
No, just for Rachel because, and when you go to her Instagram page, you will see her name is in a unique font. That is
Yep.
not by accident. That is not a mistake. That is, notice how your eyes go straight to that. It's a little tiny thing I noticed, but
And
smart.
it's called Fancy Font. If you guys, it's a free app. You can download it. It's called Fancy Font. And so, like, whenever I'm writing emails, whenever, like, when I do captions on social media, I use a lot. If I want you to see something, I capitalize it and I bold it because I want it to grab your attention because it grabs mine. And I'm going a million miles a minute. So, like, I have to have stuff that's like, stop, this is important, read this.
Yeah.
By the
Well,
way,
let's.
you know the story you and I talked about before we went live about how, so I was telling him about how I got a phone call today from someone who is going through a divorce, and she was saying she needs to find a realtor. And she said she was talking to her daughter at the gym about how she needs a realtor, and her 17-year-old daughter was like, I follow this girl on Instagram. Why don't you call her? She found me because of a reel, you guys. The reels are the number one thing the algorithm favors, and it will push you above other people in the feed. And so, but the reason I brought it up as well, we're talking, my phone rang and it was the attorney. And so I'm like, oh, it's so hard. Because I'm like, can I just pause this so I can go get that piece of business? Nope, I'm time blocked. This is the one thing I will tell you that makes you real estate, guys. Time blocking. Like my
Yes.
number one focus right now is doing this podcast with DJ because I committed to it. I'm time blocked for it. As soon as I'm done with him, I'm going to call back that attorney and I'm going to post a reel that I was editing right before I got on here. So like my whole life is time blocked, but you can build this business, you can have the kids, you can do the things you want to do if you time block. When I did the door knocking in the open houses, I time blocked for it. I would door knock 2 hours a day and I could hit about 75 doors in those 2 hours. With social media, I'll give you guys a system for how you can lead generate through social media for 2 hours. All my lead generation is in 2 hours because that's like as long as my attention span can last before I'm like, ugh, it's not good. But you know, that's a success. If you can master time blocking as a realtor, like you can do this.
Yeah, and it's we're talking about turn the phone off or put it face down and don't,
Yeah,
because things are going to be flying at you, as we all know. Things fly at you all day long, and it's
yeah,
easy. If you're like me, you just get distracted by any shiny object. So, good idea. Now, so let's talk about content again. So we understand
yeah.
the importance of reels and what a reel is, at least on Instagram, I believe is 90 seconds the max. I can't remember if it's 60 or 90, but
Yeah, so it's short form video. It can be 90 seconds or less, but I'll be totally transparent with you. Like the easiest reels that go trending and viral are like 10 seconds or less, and even 7 seconds, because what you do, so a reel will play twice in a row for someone who's watching it. It's called looping. It will play twice in a row for someone that's watching it. And so what you do is the way you want to think about reels, like the strategy behind it is, and this kind of can sound a little overwhelming, but I'll give you something at the end that will make it easy. So you're going to record your video, okay? And you're going to come up with your topic, you're going to know what you're going to do. So you're going to record your video for let's like my best ones are like 7 seconds long, no joke. So
Wow.
7 seconds long. You literally can record you typing at a computer and smiling for 7 seconds. Then you're going to come up with your hook. So, whatever the video is going to be about, and you're going to put it on the top of the screen for 2 seconds. Then you're going to have two more things you're going to share with them. And then you can be like, see caption. What I will tell you is the real is to entertain them. Where you educate them and you position yourself as the expert is in the caption below. Because what you're going to notice on all of my reels, like I have one that I put up earlier this week, and it talks about, I think I was like at 60,000 views like as of this morning, and it talks about how things that depreciate in value as soon as you buy them. And said your car, your designer purse, acai bowls. Like I made it kind of funny. And then
Yeah.
I was like, things that don't real estate. And it is a 5-second video, you guys. All I'm doing is walking towards a camera for 5 seconds. And then in the caption, I educate. And I'm like, let's talk about why real estate is important to build wealth. And so I position myself as the expert in the caption, but in that I'm using 30 hashtags. 6 are geo hashtags. So people are like, the hashtags matter. They do matter. They're not going to make or break your content, but they do help. And if you can get more followers, why the heck not? So hashtags, I want you to think of hashtags like Google. So if someone's looking for a realtor, like a top luxury realtor, they could type in luxury realtor, and thousands, hundreds of thousands of realtors have used that hashtag. But if it's like Sacramento, luxury real estate Sacramento, there's going to be a lot fewer that are going to pop up, and my reels are good, so they're going to grab them. So with hashtags, like the video, like the um system, I would say, for a video is like, you're going to record it, you're going to edit it, and I use InShot, like I said. You're going to put your words on the screen. I do want you to put words on the screen because 80% of people are watching your videos without the sound on because they're watching them at work when they should be working. And so you want to make sure you tell them what it's going to be about on the screen. And then also, this is like super heady, but like the algorithm, it's called alternative text and keywords. They're watching the words you put on the screen,
Yeah.
and that is going to be fed to the people out there that are looking in your genre. Um, and then trending audio is the other piece. So the trending audio makes a massive difference on your reel. And you just look for that little arrow in the bottom left screen that's going up. And that is how you find the trending audio.
And let's explain what trending audio is.
Okay, so trending audio is the music that you hear on a reel that has a certain amount of uses that is catching into the algorithm, so it's going to push it out in front of more people. So I only post reels with trending audio because I know the system and the how to make it go, have a better chance of going viral and getting in front of more people. But again, I'm targeting realtors because I want referrals from realtors around the country, and I'm targeting buyers and sellers in my local community because I want them to position me as the local expert.
And do your reels, are they ever more than, let's say, 10 seconds or so, or are they usually within that 7 second?
They are. So like when I'm educating, when I'm teaching about something, they're a little bit longer. I have one that I was like not sure how it would do because it's like I think it was like 84 seconds or something, but I was teaching people about this rule that I call the 555, which is how you wake up the algorithm when you make a post so they get more eyes on your content. So I was teaching them about, it says like how to hack the algorithm and get more eyes on your content. That's my hook. And then I'm teaching them an idea about the rule of 555. And so that is definitely a little bit of a longer one. You test it out because my audience is different than your audience. So what works for me, the short reels where you entertain them and educate work for everybody. But like my audience knows that I'm going to teach them how to build a business as well. So like I'm going to educate. If you don't do that, you might do one where you say why it's important to get a home inspection. Like, and that's your hook, right? Why it's important to get a home inspection. And then, or like 3 mistakes every buyer makes. 1, not getting a home inspection. 2, not getting approved for a loan. Like, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
then you educate them below. Anyone can do that.
A question about hashtags. So you said something that struck me as interesting because I've heard a lot of different opinions on hashtagging. So I have heard that Instagram prefers keeping the number of hashtags under 6. You use 30. So can you speak a little bit to, and I know you've tested it all.
Yeah.
So is that sort of an old wives' tale that only keep a few hashtags per post?
So the algorithm is always changing, always changing. The most you can have is 30. The least you could have is 1, but you don't get penalized for having 30. So I use
Okay.
30. I
Got it.
again, I'm a systems person. I'm not like, what are the number 6 that I need to do? Screw that. I have 30. My 6 are in there. Pick the 6 you want. You know what I mean? Like I
Got it.
don't you're not getting you don't get like you don't get hurt for having more hashtags.
Got it. Because I know at some point in social media there was like what we would call like keyword stuffing, and people would just inflate. But I guess the point is, Instagram doesn't really care how many hashtags you have if the content is keeping people engaged for that
Exactly.
amount of time that they're watching. They don't
Spot on.
care. And if you have crappy content and you just have all these keywords, then or hashtags, then yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they would downvote that. But you're absolutely right. It's all about the quality of the content.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
Okay, go ahead.
do you wanna talk about so one thing we can talk about is how they can convert a follower into a client, because I think
Let's
that's a
do it.
really important conversation.
Huge.
Okay, so you're gonna have all these people following you, and what you don't realize is right now only 7 to 10% of your friends are seeing what you're doing. 7 to 10% of your friends.
At by the way, at best,
Yes.
it might even be like 3%. Yeah.
Yeah, like think about all the people you have in your on your social media, but you see the same stories, the same posts, the same feed. And the rule is if you're not seeing them, they're not seeing you. So every single month, all my social media clients, what we do is we take pen to paper and we write down 25 names of people that we're already friends with on social, but we're not seeing their content anymore. So you could pick your 25. It could be 25 local business owners. It could be 25 realtors from around the country. It could be 25 past clients. It could be 25 people from your church. But each month you're going to pick 25 people. And then this is the way that you get in front of the people who you're already friends with, but they're not seeing your content. So it's called my rule of 555. So 5 minutes before you make a post, you comment on 5 people's post, a comment of 5 words or more.
Okay, hold on. I want to back up. So here's what we're talking about. I just want to make sure this is really clear because this is absolutely an idea that not one person has ever shared in the 6 years and 500 episodes we've done this. So here's what Rachel is saying. So she's saying one thing to know is that a very small percentage of your followers on social are actually going to see your posts organically,
Yes.
under 10% for sure. So how do we get in front of that additional 90+%? What she does is when we first start out the other thing she said was one way to sort of see who might be seeing your stuff and who might not is it's this one-to-one relationship. If you are seeing their reels, their posts, odds are they are probably seeing yours as well. But since we know most aren't, you can take a look and you can make an assumption that if you're not seeing theirs, they're not seeing yours. So you're going to make a list of those people, and then 5 minutes before you actually post, go ahead.
Yeah. So 5 minutes before you make a post, you comment on 5 of those people's posts, a comment of 5 words or more. And then what that does, so there are people who like you, who love you, who actually want to refer business to you, but you're not top of mind for them. Right. Like, and so the way you stay top of mind is being in front of them. And then once they start to engage with your stuff, you're in there and you're not
Right.
talking about real estate. So they're not like, oh my God, shut up. They're like, wow, she's doing this with her kids. Oh, she went on this vacation. She read this book. She's going through this with her body. Like, and they start to have things in common with me. And then they're like, oh, and then when they're in the grocery store and 5 aisles down, they hear someone talking about selling a house. They're like, oh my gosh, Rachel, I got to run down and tell her. You know what I mean? And so that works really well. The other thing you guys are going to do, and this is to help you turn a new follower into a client. So what happens a lot of times is like, say that I have a post and my husband and I go to Tahoe, right? And we have our anniversary. When you do a birthday or anniversary post, you get tons of people like, happy anniversary, happy
Yeah.
birthday. And everybody is like, usually people do one blanket thank you, like, thank you for all the love and the
Yeah.
messages,
Yeah.
right? What I want you to do is like when I tell my agents we're going to lead generate for 2 hours on social media, what you're doing is you're setting a 2 hour block and you're going to go to a higher producing post that you have. Now, your comments, you should respond to all your comments because the point of social media is to have interaction. So just as a given, if people are commenting on your social, comment back to them. But the missing link, this like magic piece that people don't realize, are your likes. Your likes are literally this list of people going, "Hey, I'm watching. I'm right here. I see what you're doing." But it's usually a vanity metric. People are like, "I got 100 likes on that post. Look at
Yeah,
me."
yeah,
6
it makes us feel good because we're like, people like us.
Mhm. But those people get no interaction. So what I do when I'm doing lead generation for social media is I go on my computer. I don't do it on my cell phone because I need to be able to like click on my with my mouse and stuff. So I go on my computer, I click on the likes, I scroll over the likes, I copy them and I paste them into a Word doc. And then you guys, I go one by one. I literally go through, and what I would do is when so say that Jessica comments on my post and she's like, "Happy anniversary." I'm like, "Thanks, girl. We had a great time." And then DJ likes my post. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go proactively to DJ's page. So he likes my post. I go look at his social. I see something happening in his world. Um, what's something that just happened for you and your family recently, like a
I
milestone?
just went to the US Open for
Perfect.
tennis a couple weeks ago.
Okay, perfect. So he likes my post for my anniversary. I would send him a private message. I'd be like, "Hey DJ, thanks so much for connecting with me on my anniversary post. We had the best time in Tahoe. Oh my gosh, I saw you guys just went to the US Open. That's always been a bucket list for me. How was it?"
So
So
that we're talking about direct message. So now, so you're direct
direct message.
messaging
So he likes
me,
my
and
post. I send him a DM. Okay. And I mentioned something super specific about DJ. I don't say anything about the fact that he's in Chicago,
mhm,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
I don't say anything about Chicago because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And I'm going to ask him about the US Open. And then he's going to come back and say, "Oh my gosh, I saw Hayden like just started teething. That's so crazy. Like, I
yeah,
hope
yeah.
you guys are getting sleep." And we're going to go back and forth, just talking personal life. Eventually, when I think the transition feels good and natural, maybe it's same day, maybe it's same week, maybe it's a month, whenever it feels natural, keyword here, I say something to DJ of the effect of, "Hey DJ, I really love getting to know you on a personal level, which makes me think we'd probably align in our business lives as well. I don't have a great referral partner in Chicago. Do you have one in Northern California?" You guys, 131 referrals. This is how this conversation happens because I want to lead with the relationship. I always want to get to know the person first, and then we talk about the business. And it works. It works really, really well.
And we're predominantly talking Instagram right now, I'm guessing, right? Because,
Facebook
or I
too.
guess,
Facebook.
I'm sorry.
Facebook too. I still get most of my business comes from Facebook still. I'm Facebook,
Oh, I
then
see. Well, I'm
Instagram,
just
then
thinking of
Facebook.
like, I'm thinking of a Facebook reel. So let's get really specific. So you have a Facebook page where you're posting your reels. That's public. Anyone can access that. But when somebody on Facebook likes it, do you do have to be friends with them then to go back and message, or you can, well, you could message without
No,
being
you can
friends.
message him without being friends. Yeah, you
Okay.
because I haven't capped it. You only have 5,000 followers on Facebook, and I have like 20. That I
Right.
don't even know what I have now, but like I capped a long time ago. So for
So
me,
you're not saying friend them necessarily. You're saying
no,
send them a
you
direct
can if
message.
you don't have the friend or if you have the availability, but I just send them a private message.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then again, this is where that is really important to have that public profile because if you have a private profile and I go to say something to you, I can't see what anything happening in your life. And the other thing too is like with social media, it can be this like beautiful, empowering, positive place. It can also suck the life out of you.
Yeah.
So you have to be really intentional. So like if I'm going through and I go to click on someone's page and I get that like, oh, I would never be friends with this person in real life, right there and then I block them. I'm out because I'm like, you get to choose who you have in your feed, who you have in your life. Same thing on social. I want my social media to make me feel good and inspire me and empower me. And if it makes me feel the opposite, those people don't belong in my world anymore.
I love that.
Yeah.
Boundaries. It's about boundaries. That's really great. So okay, let's go back through those steps. So before you do your reel, you are going to find people that have that you are not seeing their content. They are not seeing.
It can
Sorry,
go
5 minutes before.
reels will stress people out. I feel like it's just a post. When I'm doing my lead generation, I'm not doing it on reels, I'm doing it on posts. So I
Got it.
do it on like a picture post that I've made. Um, I could do it for reels, but when I'm doing my lead generation, it's posts. And you have to remember most of our audience probably are doing more posts than reels.
Sure.
So do it with a post, guys. Like
How many posts versus reels would you recommend on a daily, weekly basis?
it's a great question. I think you need to be doing at least one reel a week, at least one reel a week, if not more. I think you should be posting at least 3 times a week. Now, you could do just a picture post. You could do a carousel post, which is multiple pictures. So you can choose what that looks like, but you do want to make sure you're doing the reels. And can I share with them the Get Social Leverage, what that is?
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of realtors come to me and they're like, Rachel, I want to do video, but I don't know how. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to record it. I don't know what equipment I need. I don't know, all the things. So I really felt this question coming up a lot to me and it was stressing a lot of people out. So I said, how can I fill that void for our industry? So I created something called the weekly reel system. So we have hundreds of agents doing this around the country. And what we do is every week I find a trending reel in real estate. I shoot the raw footage. Then on Monday, you get an email that comes to you and it says, hey, your reel is ready to create. All you have to do is you go on this private website that we have, and it will say, like, for example, it will say, film yourself smiling and typing on your camera for 7 seconds. You send that into my team. Then we're going to edit it for you, put the captions, the hook. I will write the hook for you, put it on the screen. I write the actual post for you. I give you your hashtags, your geo hashtags, and I find the trending audio that's trending that week in real estate, and through Instagram. And so literally it's all done for you. It's $97 a month. So it's super inexpensive. You get a reel every single week. And what's super cool is it is your fastest conversion that you will see for your platform, because we have people that are doing it. And like one of our girls, she posted a reel and she got 4 leads from it. Another one, her daughter was in preschool and all of a sudden her reel came into her preschool teacher's algorithm and she was like, I need to sell my house. I had no idea you were in real estate. We have people whose social media is up. I get messages all the time, 415%, 445% for engagement. Like, this is the fastest thing you can do to build your presence on social media, and we can handle the entire things for you. If you go to Get Social Leverage and you click on the weekly reels, it's $97 a month, and it's like a no-brainer.
I love that. And you guys are doing all the heavy lifting. And all we're doing is doing a quick little shot of us. You guys do the editing and
Yep.
then we just post it. And do you recommend a post? What about cross posting? What do we think about now? Maybe that's sort of a little bit further ahead for a lot of our listeners,
Yeah.
but phase 2 would be considering dropping those into TikTok, I guess, YouTube shorts, things like that. Do you cross post again, different channels?
Absolutely. Yeah. So when I make a reel, I post it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. I don't. TikTok is literally just there because I post on it. I don't do anything through TikTok. I've never got a referral through TikTok. I just do it to like get the
Yeah,
overall
why
presence
not? Yeah.
going. And really, I don't post it. My assistant posts it for me there. But Facebook and Instagram is my jam. That's like where my main focus comes from. I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has like hours and hours of free coaching content. You guys are welcome to go binge it. We talk about like how I got in the luxury market. I just shared my whole open house system because we had a $1.7 million buyer walk into our open house and I had them converted and in contract 7 days later. And so I give my whole open house system. I believe in our industry and just like sharing and giving, and it always comes back around. And so that's why I do all these different things for free, because it's like, why not? People did it for me.
Yeah, and it does. People get hooked on content, and then you have this ability to market to them forever, and that's the beauty of creating really great content.
100%.
Let's talk about your coaching as well.
Okay. So yeah, so a lot of people are like, Rachel, I feel like you're my style. I love the ideas you're doing. I would like more. So, two things. One, I have a mastermind group. It's $29 a month. That one, if you go to Rachel's coaching crew, sorry, I forgot to tell you about that one, but it's $29 a month. And I go in there twice a month and I coach for 45 minutes. This last week, we talked all about listings. So I went over my listing presentation with them. I talked about how I broke into the luxury market. When you hire your first admin, hey, I did this Instagram post and I got no traction. So it's really cool because I go in and I coach for 45 minutes, but there's also Q&A. So we have 81 referrals already passed out in that group. You have a membership library where you can watch all the coaching later. So literally for $126 a month, you could have your weekly reel covered and you can be in a coaching mastermind group. Game changer. The other thing is if you really want to do a deep dive on social, if you're like, you know what, 2024 is the year that I'm really going to focus on social media at a high level. I have an 8-week social media masterclass where I do deep dives into Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I teach you like what to post, how to post, when to post, how to beat the algorithm. I give you a content calendar. It really just kind of helps you get some insight into like really if you're doing social media at a high level and it's a place you're going to focus on for lead generation, it helps.
I love it. Gosh, we have covered so much. Let's
I know.
recap. Let's recap some of the different offerings because you're giving away a lot of great content to our audience. So let's what was the freebies link as well for people to check
Yeah,
some of
so
the
if you go to
free.
rachelsfreebies.com, that's gonna give them the 20 hooks to go viral. So Rachel's
Awesome. And
Freebies.
then we also have Hello Social Coaching. So if you're looking to get some social coaching, that is .com. That is the website. Hello Social Coaching. We'll have links to all of this in the show notes. And Get Social Leverage as
Yeah,
well. That is the video reels that are done for
please
you. That
do. Mhm.
you just basically and I want to talk to you off air about what I could be doing with my content because
Totally.
we have a little bit of a different aim, but essentially same sort of thing,
Yeah.
and I want to get some ideas from Rachel as well. So I'm going to be signing up, and I
I
want
think what's really
everybody.
cool too about real estate, guys, is like you can have the life you want. You can build this business of your dreams, but real estate gives you the platform to do that. So, like all of these amazing people I have in my world, I met them through real estate and I'm a multi passionate entrepreneur. Like, I have like I have four different streams of income for how I run my life, but real estate is the foundation of everything. And so all the people that I'm in contact with, all my main like genre is still real estate. And we can build, you can do whatever you want. Like it really is so fun. And so now like I get to be a working mom. I get to, like create these coaching courses and, make 6 and 7 figures and do all these things and still make an impact on my community. And you guys have the exact same opportunity in front of you. It's just what you choose to plug into.
All right, guys, this is a great place to wrap up because there's a lot of to dos here, a lot of calls to action. So if you're an agent in Northern California, I would probably want to work with Rachel at her Keller Williams team. She is the Rachel Adams Lee Group. You can visit racheladamsleegroup.com and learn all about what they offer their agents and team members. This is the year that people are moving. So, moving meaning moving around offices, not as much moving with homes, but certainly moving offices. This is a great opportunity if you're not getting the attention you need to consider maybe joining Rachel's team. Also, we have a lot of for even if you're not in the Northern California area, not looking to switch firms, lots of cool opportunities to work with Rachel. She's got her Reels system that she'll do for you for what was it, $29 a month, I believe.
That's 97 a month for the weekly
Not
reel service, and then 29
90.
bucks a month for the mastermind group, which if you
Yeah,
check out with weekly reels, it'll ask you, do you want to join the mastermind group? And you can just
great.
click yes. Yeah.
I mean, that is both as somebody who pays to get reels done, I know how inexpensive what you're offering is.
Yeah.
And coaching for $29 a month, we know, guys, that is the cheapest coaching price you will ever find for pretty much any type of coach ever. So definitely check that out as well. And we will have links to and rachelsfreebies.com too. We're going to give you just all of these links. Guys, all I want you to do, the way that you can help thank Rachel is obviously check out all her stuff. Consider investing in her courses. She's obviously the real deal. Please do it. It's inexpensive. It's kind of a no-brainer. But the way that you can help both of us too is tell a friend about this episode. Think of
Yeah.
just one other agent that needs to get their social media health improved and send them this interview. Please, please, please. You can send them right over to our website, keepingitrealpod.com, or any podcast app they listen. Just search for Keeping It Real, hit that subscribe button. But send them a link to this particular episode. You are going to be doing a lot of good for your coworkers and also helping us in the same time. On behalf of our audience, I want to thank Rachel. Busy mother, busy entrepreneur, and just a heck of a nice person. And think about all the content she gave us away for free today. All of the help. She literally just is like, this is exactly how I do it. So we need to thank her. So I'm on behalf of the audience thanking you for that. On behalf of Rachel and myself, we got to thank our listeners. You guys are the reason we're here and making it all the way to the end of the episode. That's awesome. Thank you for that. So please tell a friend. We love you. We're going to keep producing these episodes. Of course, let us know what you think of the show. Also, if you have an extra few moments, leave us a review. Let us know on whatever podcast app you're listening. Let us know what you think of the show. We read those, and we're here to serve you. So tell us what we could do differently and better. And again, please tell a friend. Again, Rachel, thank you so much. This was awesome.
You're
And
welcome.
we will see everybody on the next episode. Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks so much.